This time, we finally make it to Rotterdam and stay on an old Dutch barge. We see the sights and visit some amazing windmills. We leave Alphen and head for Amsterdam for the weekend. We didn't vlog much of that, but you can watch our previous Amsterdam vlog. We stayed above a nice craft beer bar by a canal and watched the planes go by before heading to Rotterdam. We take the train down to Rotterdam and get to our new ship for the week. Let's find out more about it from the owner, Primala.
Welcome to Avontuur. She's a clipper from 1913, so she's over 100 years old. I bought her about 16 years ago, slowly transforming her into a yoga meditation home, and since about 6 years started with a B&B. We got 2 units downstairs. I also live downstairs. In the back of the ship we have the captain's hut. We also have a juicer coffee bar which you run on the terrace on the nice summer months. We've got a yoga space downstairs, some meditation rooms, and a couple of boats here which we also rent out for guests that want to come out.
Chris can show you around.
We're staying in the captain's hut, which starts here in the wheelhouse.
And here's the captain. Let's have a look downstairs.
There's a comfortable roll-away bed and a very functional kitchen area with lots of drinks and toast-making appliances. A comfortable seating area and a cosy ship's bathroom with a sit-down shower.
We have our own private little garden on the ship, part of the captain's hut. And some nice views. We head out into town for a look around the sights of Rotterdam. First stop, the Market Hall. The Market Hall is built inside a horseshoe-shaped apartment block and boasts the world's largest indoor mural. Dutch artist Arno Koenen created the Horn of Plenty, covering 1,100 square metres and printed across 4,000 tiles. Inside, there are almost 100 food stalls plus restaurants catering for all tastes. We look around and have a quick bite to eat before moving on. Designed by Dutch architect Piet Bloem in the late 1970s, the cube houses represent an urban forest of treetops above a traffic-free walkway. Well, I think after 2 weeks on the boat, maybe one of these would be quite good for us. So let's have a look inside one.
Well, we're in one of the cube houses and we're going to take a look around it. This could be my office. So this is the top of the cube house and it's got lovely views all round.
Someone likes a party. We take a slow walk back along the canals towards our ship. On board, the renovation work continues. Next day, and we head out for a walk across the Erasmus Bridge. Across the bridge is the Hotel New York, built in the former office building of the Holland America Line, which operated cargo and passenger ships from the Netherlands to North America until the late 1980s. For lunch today, we make our way to the Fenix Food Factory for fresh food by local entrepreneurs. Much of the produce is made locally, with an on-site bakery and brewery, but I go straight for the cider bar.
So there's an island in Denmark where there are many apple trees. It started with friends at a party and they didn't really know what to do with their lives. And that's where they decided to make cider, or at least they tried to make cider, but then it was actually quite successful. People can just collect the apples, and when they turn in the apples they get a bowl of cider for free.
I've got a chicken sandwich and I've got an IPA.
I've got some veggie loaded potato wedges and a delightful cider from Denmark.
Cheers.
Another attraction is the SS Rotterdam. The retired flagship of the Holland America line is now permanently moored up here as a hotel. To save the long walk back, we take one of the many black and yellow water taxis for an exhilarating and bumpy ride under the Erasmus Bridge, and back across to where we started. The taxis are a super fast way to get around all over the Rotterdam waterways. The following morning, we're off for an excursion to Kinderdijk, about 40 minutes away. We take a ferry, apparently past Noah's Ark. And change to a second ferry boat, which takes us to our final destination. So what is the attraction of Kinderdijk?
We're at Kinderdijk to see the windmills.
We buy our tickets at the visitor centre, which gets us into the various museum exhibits and onto the boats. So we're in Kinderdijk today. There's 12 of these windmills all up and down these canals that pump the water out to keep the land. And there's another 6 windmills, I think, further off the side. But what a lovely place to come to. Take a tourist boat up and down, look at all the windmills, and then go in several working ones. It's really cool. The Moose is most keen to get out on the boat trip. Every direction you look has a photo opportunity. Inside, you can see the working mechanisms pumping out the water to maintain the correct water levels along the canals. The sails can reach quite frightening speeds. On a nice sunny day, this makes for quite a beautiful day out.
So that was Kinderdijk.
Back in Rotterdam, and our ship is located right in the Maritime Museum area, and there's lots to see, including an old lightship, which is now a cafe bar. Next morning, and we're off to the tower.
We're in a big park in Rotterdam, on the way to go up the Euromast.
The Euromast is a TV tower with a public viewing area. There's some great views of Rotterdam from here, and we can see right over the port and apparently all the way to Belgium. I see a windmill. Just what we need, another windmill.
Well, there goes my route. Today we've come to the historic village of Delfshaven on the western outskirts of Rotterdam.
Time for some Delfshaven refreshment, I think. We've come all the way to Delfshaven in Rotterdam, and Chris has got Bradford ale. Well, that said, I've got Normandy cider.
Bradford ale. Delfshaven's a picturesque old town and harbour on the outskirts of Rotterdam, and we've stopped in a cafe where the beers are named after people who are on the Mayflower.
It's Pride Week in Rotterdam, and we have an evening out in a couple of the gay bars and see how the locals like to celebrate.
Surprise, another boat trip.
Oh goody, says Moose. Today we're doing a harbour tour, despite a little bit of drizzle in the air.
We're in Rotterdam Harbour looking at the container ships being unloaded.
That's one happy moose. That looks familiar. Meanwhile, back in town, don't mention the B word. But plug the Santa Claus sculpture. It's weird, all week long we've been sitting here in the sinister yellow and black water taxi goes creeping by the end of the canal. First one way, and then a few minutes later it comes back the other way, as if they're keeping an eye on us. Weird. If you saw our Budapest video, you know we spent an entire day in the Pinball Museum there. So when we discovered the Dutch Pinball Museum in Delfshaven, we had to book a day in there too. One of our favourite films. Chris gets a high score. The oldies are the best.
So we're just taking a break from our all-day pinball fest.
Oh my god, I killed Kenny.
It must be time to go home. I can't honestly remember when my arms ached so much. It was probably when we were in Budapest.
And with a little help from the museum technician, I get high score too. And with that, it's time to go home. Check out our last vlog from the canals of the Netherlands if you missed it. And as we sail off home into the sunset, don't forget to subscribe and catch up with our next adventures.